Hello guys, how are you? My name is Samantha Leah and this is my Thinking Out Loud podcast. I just started implementing a new routine and I'm going to see how it goes. I have been listening to an audiobook by an author named Wayne Dyer who is super popular in, the self-help spiritual book industry. He's actually not here with us anymore, but he always spoke about how the hours between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. are the creative hours of the day, no matter where you are in your time zone. And I definitely feel that. And he spoke about how your ego will, when that first day when you set your alarm for 3, because, that's definitely not what we're used to, most of us at least. And he spoke about how your ego will be like, no, you don't need to. Don't do it. You're tired. And I definitely just experienced that. And actually, I didn't get up until a little later. But I do believe that I will get to the point where I can get up right at 3 and experience it for myself. I think it's like 5 right now. So I just wanted to check in and speak on a couple things, but I just posted a tweet about how the 3D timelines are completely being done away with and how anything that we're still attached to that is from our 3D self is really going to pose a problem for us. So whether it be an attachment to a situation or a person or maybe a job, if it doesn't resonate with you anymore in your evolving state, it's going to feel worse and worse and worse. And the universe will come up with very intriguing ways to ensure that you move past these situations. Actually, somebody told me that they were working at a job that they really didn't enjoy and they got really, really hurt, really injured. And this just happened recently, so they can't do that job anymore. So now they're making a change into a new career that they actually enjoy. In my personal experience, I actually tried getting back in touch with somebody from my past who is definitely not in resonance with my highest self. And it truly became impossible to get in touch with the person, even though they are in a friend group of mine, loosely. But it's not like this person is, like off grid or lives in another country and it's hard to get in touch with them. So just there's various ways that the universe is really pushing us to detach from things that are not good for us. And it's becoming more and more obvious. So that was a really interesting thing to think about. Also, I've just been thinking so much about this lately, and I already think about this a lot, but how when we're triggered, we really need to ask ourselves why we're triggered. I've been doing this all day, every day. When I get bothered by something, when something upsets me, and sometimes I don't come up with the answer, But just to know that it's there for a reason, that trigger is there. Like, as an example, my mom and I, when she bothers me for whatever reason, like, you know how it is. Every single time that I feel any sort of irritation or anything less than positive, I really automatically, it's become an automatic tendency to reflect back on myself and say, what about this is bothering me? Why has this knocked me off my axis? And a lot of the times I don't know the answer right away, or I don't even know the answer yet. But just to create that barrier between me and my thought process of, oh, she's blah, 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 to have that step in between of being like, wait, this isn't what I think it is. This isn't what it seems it is. There's something deeper here, and there's a reason why I'm being triggered. There's a reason why this is here in my life to show me something, some reflection back to myself, something about myself. And now that that is really constant and in everything I do, it's shown me a lot of things. And it also has gotten me used to feeling what my emotions in the moment and not just suppressing them or passing them by or distracting myself like, oh, my mother bothered me. Let me get on my phone and forget that this ever happened. Let me distract myself and play a game. I really have been taking the time to really feel it and just ask myself, what is the deeper meaning of this feeling? Because there has to be something in this. There's a reason why I'm being triggered. So that has just been so interesting, and I've made that a part of my daily life. I also, speaking of things that I made a part of my daily life, another, I guess, life hack that I've been messing around with has been adding constant reminders through my phone, through my alarm clock, throughout the day to stay present. So I'll tell myself something specifically in those reminders, like, you are a source being, or something, just something that I could then repeat to myself as an intention when I see the alarm go off. And I've already noticed that the days that I don't do it, where, we get lazy and we're just like, nah, I don't feel like it. I've noticed the difference. I've noticed that time goes by throughout the day without me thinking to myself that I'm unconsciously creating in those gaps of time where I'm not realizing or being reminded of any form of presence. I'm not out of the matrix at all in any of that time frame. And it just helps to have those alarms set to really just get you in that groove where you snap out of it and you say, oh, I'm here right now. I'm in this experience right now. Here I am. I'm present. We're doing this life thing, I've noticed that the days that I don't have those alarms set, I really do get, sucked in, and life happens. And since in every moment we're creating our reality, I don't know what type of reality I'm creating in those gaps of time where I'm completely not present. Ups and downs. So then life will reflect back to you, ups and downs, chaos, roller coaster ride. And I think that's normal for a lot of us because we become happy or sad or angry based on the conditions of our day without really staying present and observing the situations in our life instead of becoming it. When you're observing it, you're not as affected. So those reminders really help. Just to snap out and be like, oh, I'm here right now. What have I been creating in the last hour that I was not present? And also, of course, a meditation practice helps too. And I've really implemented a meditation practice a lot more throughout the last few months, whereas I was really wishy-washy on it for a long time, honestly. I was kind of trying to run away from it because I was like, especially being a creative, it's like my mind runs on the juices of creating, which is action, which is doing, and meditation is being, it's existing, it's not doing, it's not action. And although it is difficult some days and it's hard sometimes to sit down and make the decision, I just find that the practice of the discipline itself has changed my life. Again, because I go through my waves of being a meditator, a hardcore meditator, but right now I know that I need to keep it in my daily life as a practice because the world is so chaotic right now, and it really helps you to become the eye of the storm. So aware of your thoughts that you can catch them before they take advantage of you and you go down the toilet with a stream of negative thoughts. That's why it's so helpful. It's not just about silencing your mind and getting to a point where you're not thinking any thoughts. It's that practice of, oh, I'm sitting here, I'm meditating, I'm focusing on my breath, and then my mind runs astray, and then I catch myself, and then I bring myself back. In that practice, you are disciplining your mind. And so to recognize and realize the positive effect that has had in the last few months is really good for me to know that, yes, this is a really important practice. And it, of course, makes sense why every spiritual text says meditate. I'm over here running away from it saying, I'll work out, I'll write music, blah, blah, blah. Which, of course, you need to do other things too. Do what makes you happy. But I will say that even just a few minutes of just self-reflection and observing your mind and your thoughts, that's meditation. And that's helpful. So I really hope that everybody's doing well. I'm happy to speak my thoughts aloud, and I'm happy to be here, and I love you all so very much.